a Tennessee transfer. Obviously, God, I've lost track of time now. I don't remember how many weeks ago it felt like he was going to commit to Michigan any moment.
Yeah.
And then he started leaning into the pro route and then went through the G League camp, did not get the invite to the NBA camp, and now seems to be exploring college options again, which is a positive. We heard he might even pursue Europe instead of doing the college thing. So we got some bad news first, which was a visit to West Virginia. Yeah. But Josh, rumor went around on Twitter tonight and you were able to confirm it. So you want to talk about what's going on with Mr. Olivier?
Yeah, no, I think the first thing is that, there was a little bit of nervousness, coming out of Michigan Twitter yesterday when word was that, he was having a visit with West Virginia and, Michigan wasn't mentioned, because really the idea and the whole thing that with Kamwa is that he was going to pick Michigan if he was going to choose the college route, and still very well could. But now there's a little bit of nervousness out there because now he's allowing other schools to get into the mix. West Virginia has had a very positive transfer portal, period, if that's what you want to call it. But the thing is too, with West Virginia is that they've already added a player at his spot as a transfer. So unlike Michigan, they're pretty close to being full. So, Michigan, the benefit that is in Michigan's favor right now is that they can offer playing time.
And a lot of it.
There's a big role to be had there. But long story short, we have confirmed that he is expected to be on campus on June 2nd. He's already visited with the program before via Zoom. Met with the coaching staff, got a tour of the facilities and all that stuff. But now he gets, a full on look of everything. And it's good that this visit is happening after his West Virginia visit and not before. So that way, and who knows, we don't know if that's the only 2 visits he's going to take. There may be more down the line, but, Michigan's going to get a really good crack at him. And, I still think Michigan is right in the thick of things. Right now, I don't think I can sit here and say he's 100% going to Michigan today. But, things can change so much in this transfer portal world that, he very well could end up at Michigan after all. So we'll see. But either way, very positive thing that he's coming to campus. And, really all signs are pointing to him looking to return to school for his final year of eligibility. So a good thing if Juwan can get this deal done.
West Virginia being this NIL powerhouse is weird to me. But it's also Huggins, man.
Yep.
Some of these dudes that are thriving in the NIL world are just doing the same stuff they've always been doing, right? So it's some people are like, West Virginia, really? I'm like, yeah. So, that's an interesting point, though. They do have this really, really good transfer class, but this spot's taken. So that's an interesting, are you taking a smaller role for the 1 year? Are you looking to prove something? Are you ending up going the Europe route eventually anyway? It'll be an interesting dynamic for sure. And then I wonder, I think I brought this up to you on the board or where, if Love not being a part of the team is a factor, right? But part of that could be the other name we're going to talk about, which is Ray J. Dennis.
Yeah.
I always hate this because it's after the fact, it feels like I'm trying to hedge, but I would have said this before too. If you asked me Dennis or Love, Dennis is a better fit.
Yeah.
Right? We've talked about that. I think I like Dennis for the team better. I wonder if Dennis feels like it's a better fit though. If he wants to be the off ball too, or if he wants to be a point guard, that was kind of the only thing I hung up on, but we got to see him play against Michigan.
Yeah.
I've always been a little biased against dudes that have whooped Michigan before. I do that with the NFL draft too. I'm convinced Quentin Johnston's going to be an absolute stud because of what he did against Michigan for TCU. But anyway, Dennis visited over that weekend where he hit 3 spots, Illinois and Baylor. Sounds like one team is out and then another team is emerging. He's got a connection out there in Utah. How's that looking now in terms of Michigan's chances?
Yeah, not great. I don't think it was great to begin with. The big thing when Ray J. Dennis first hit the portal was that, this is a done deal to Illinois. He's an Illinois kid. This is a done deal. It's, don't even worry about it. He's going to Illinois. And then word started to leak out that he was going to take other visits, and Michigan was the next visit after Illinois, after his official, or I guess you'd call it official visit. I don't know, but it's a visit to campus.
I don't know what's official and what's unofficial with those.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, so he took a midweek to Illinois, and then a couple days after went to Michigan, and that word kind of leaked out that he was on campus. And then shortly after that, went to Baylor, and even as far as, or as late as I think it was Friday, the word was that, it's still going to be Illinois. Michigan is on the outside looking in, and you had Baylor involved too. So it was Illinois and Baylor were the two big ones that were involved. And now fast forward to, overnight / today, we're looking at a whole completely, well, not completely new, but a relatively new set of schools, with Baylor being there, and now Utah being involved too. He took a visit to Utah, and now they're heavily involved and may honestly be the leader right now, which again, Michigan's still on the outside looking in. They can't buy a bucket. So, no pun intended. They can't buy a bucket right now when it comes to transfer portal. But it's unfortunate, but when you look at it, it makes sense that why Utah's there, because I believe his former trainer is on the staff at Utah, so it kind of makes sense. But yeah, I mean, it is a big change, because it is a little bit of an upset, because we all thought Illinois was going to be the choice for him no matter what. Now they're completely out of it.
Well, and I felt like Illinois might have wanted Love more. So that was kind of this interesting dynamic, and then now it sounds like
they may start going for Love now. Yeah,
right. And then Love's story changes every day too. I've heard Texas today, and it's crazy trying to keep up. Yeah, with the transfer portal stuff, and then I just can't get over this roller coaster. I mean, when we were hearing all the names early on, and before guys were starting to get into the portal, we were like, man, how's Juwan going to make room? Like, how's he going to flip this roster? Is he going to have to tell somebody to leave? And we were guessing, like, Glenn probably makes sense, right? We could see, Barnes was going to be an obvious one, and then Hunter was like, oh, okay, and then, anyway, and then Matthew Cleveland, and all these different names come up, and now here we are close to June. We've got 3 empty chairs, and Olivier is one of them, and Dennis was kind of the surprise visitor, like you said, and then we're still reaching for other potential names. Right. And Michigan's recruiting 25 and 26 guys at this point. Yeah. Right. For basketball. Yeah. So they're, and again, we've had to say multiple times, just because we're not hearing anything doesn't mean they're not doing anything. Right. That's a crazy suggestion. They know they have 3 empty chairs. Right. Olivier feels like one we've kind of been counting in the bucket for a long time, and Dennis would be a really cool addition. And if you swing and you go 0 for 2 on both of those, it feels dire, right?
Yeah. And the Love situation kind of changes everything too, because you had 2 scholarships open with Love, and you get Olivier in the mix. Now that's only
you're feeling pretty good.
Yeah. And now all of a sudden you lose Love. Now you've got 3 spots, and then even with Kamwa, you have 2 spots that you need to fill, and that's a big part of your bench to still 2 spots. 3 spots is a lot to fill on the bench.
I think you're being kind by saying bench. There's not a player on this team that averaged more than 9 points a game last year.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Doug, I guess, who's going to be the leader of this team? The score, that's so. Yeah, if it was a couple chairs and it was like, we could really use a guy that could, maybe a wing, somebody could play 2-3, or maybe another center, but. I'm not 100% sure we know who's starting right now. I know I'm not 100% sure I know who's starting right now. So it's interesting.